A blessed day to all our viewers and clientels out there. Welcome to Mandaway Season 2. This is DepEd Mandaway's initiatives that bring us closer to you, our dear clientels. This day we are very privileged to have with us two special guests to talk about a very special and maybe quite sensitive topic in gender and development. So to introduce our first guest this afternoon, we do have Miss Caril Bridgette M. Camaso, T3. She has been a teacher at Mandaway City Comprehensive National High School since 2018, and currently she is the GAD coordinator of the school. Good afternoon, ma'am, and welcome to this episode. And of course, we are much privileged today because one of our esteemed speakers today is no other than our very own and respected lawyer at DepEd Mandaway, Attorney Marinel, a well-versed legal expert with a deep-rooted commitment to gender equality. With years of experience for women's rights and gender-responsive policies, Attorney Nell brings a unique perspective to this discussion today on gender and development. Her insights will guide us into how we properly approach gender, especially in schools. So without much ado, let us now start the ball rolling. Attorney, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, Miss Jen.
Okay, good afternoon, Miss Jen. I'm sure this will be a very fruitful interaction. Okay?
Yes, hopefully.
So the first question is, what is gender and development? Or shall I say in layman's term, or from the perspective of the ordinary person, how will I view and understand gender and development? So it could be number one, there is a twist into this. Number one is our view of gender should be that gender is the one that is to be developed because we talk gender and development, or is it how our understanding of gender contributes to development? So maraging nana ba? So unsa kay attorney, can you shed light on this?
Yes. So sakto sir no kanang dili man jud kayo klaro pa sa uban kung unsa ginang gender and development, pero kanang daghanay makadungog ana, especially the term nga God. Common kay na siya nga term nga God. So actually sir, based on our kanang laws, ang imong second nga murag insight mo to siya ang ato ang understanding of gender and development. So it's a perspective murag ato ang pamaagi og panlantaw unsaon na to pagdevelop. So the development aspect nga i-incorporate na to ang gender equality. So ingana na siya ang gender and development. So our processes, atong policies in terms of nation building or development sa ato ang mga kanang government agencies, i-incorporate na to dito ang mga philosophies of gender equality. Muna siya gender and development.
So basically, mura siya gender contributing into the overall development. Di ba, ma'am? Ganun
Yes,
na ba?
yes. I agree. It also emphasizes on the gender differences and gender inequality in all aspects of development work.
Okay, so thank you very much. So nindot kayo, no? So maogi din na siya dapat unta ang mapanglantawan sa atong mga kaigsuunan. Labi na gid sa schools, no? Nya kini siya dapat makaabot sa ni sa mga bata, no?
Oh, nindot siya sir nga even our learners makuha na nila nga prinsipyo ba nga unsay importance or contribution sa kada gender or the general idea of gender equality in ato ang nation building or development as a country.
Yes, kay kung mas masabtan nila, mas dunay manifestation, di ba, of support for the program. So going into this, palaw man na to gamay, can you give us a sort history ani attorney? Ang ano gining kanus am ta nagsugod kani ani di ay.
So based on my readings lang ha kanang actually ako ang nakit-an nga murag start sa gender and development is since 1981 pa siya, no? So natay gitawag nga United Nations Convention on the Elimination of all forms of discrimination against women. So, if we go back from history, being a patriarchal society, so most of kanang ang paglantaw nila sa una is pro males. And there was a fight for the rights of females and women. So from this fight, na-develop na nato ang atong gitawag na convention. CEDAW ang short term ana kay CEDAW. So it's Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of Discrimination Against Women. So from that convention, si Philippines party ana. So mayon kag party to the convention, ni pirma siya, ni promise siya nga mo support kung unsay mga rights, mga obligations nga nakasuwat ana nga convention. So being a party to that, naa sad tay obligation nga i-implement na siya diri sa Philippines. So pag join na to anang CEDAW, ni create sad si kanang Philippines, actually mga around 1986 katong pag-create sa atong new constitution after sa EDSA people power, na yung mga clamor ang mga women nga dapat sa atong constitution naa say provisions dito on gender equality, especially for women. So after the constitution is, I know this is murag very legal na kayo, no? But the Constitution is the basis of all laws later on para sa ato. So kung naa siya sa Constitution, then later on, ato sa mga laws, dapat mo-develop ta og laws that supports that. So muna, naatay around 1992, naatay gibuhat nga katong gitawag na to nga Women in Development and Nation Building Act. So kana sad siya nga law, ang gibuhat niya is diha ta ni start og create og mga policies that support women's rights, women development programs. Then later on kana siyang Women in Development and Nation Building Act na change na siya paggawas sa ato ang gitawag nga Magna Carta of Women. So dito sa Magna Carta of Women, dito na gi-enumerate na dito unsay rights sa mga babay, nya unsaon na siya pag-implement sa atong country. And then on recent years na natay mga famous karon nga mga laws like the Safe Spaces Act. Oh, di ba? So kana siya, and then naasad ang kanang very common na to madunggan as VAUSI. So VAUSI actually is anti-VAUSI na siya. Oh, kay VAUSI means Violence Against Women and Children. So anti-VAUSI law. So kana siya, mga laws na siya nga ni-develop based on ato ang mga fights for women's rights. Yan, nagsugod yun siya 1981 pa sa katong CEDAW nga convention.
I agree with you, attorney. Actually, it was in that time when economic studies were analyzed, that it started when they involve already women, no, in the formulation of their policies, welfare policies, like katong mga food aid and the family planning. It was around that time nga nagsugod na gyud, no, nga ni come out na ang God. So the rights and women empowerment was during around 1980s.
So man yung attorney 1981, no? Start siya kay siguro if we go back really to history, further history pag yun, especially with yung talang religion, no? It was usually the Abrahamic law man God nga, patriarchal niya, especially when we are a Christian country. So sa Jewish tradition bitaw, di man ihapon ang babae. Ang mga laki, although the men represented the women and children, pero mas nindot ni maayo nga more bagi account na gyud pa, di na lang presume or assume, no? So nindot na siya. So it started with CEDAW. 1981 na siya.
1981, around September of 1981 na siya na-adapt ang kana siya nga convention.
So nindot kay man ang nindot gini natay attorney diri, no?
Sometimes kay basin too legal na ba ang may istoryahan, but in any case, all the policies manginahanglan gyud tag legal basis. So muna nga kanang importante nga maka-recall sa tao, diin siya nagsugod in terms of the legalities.
I agree, attorney. In fact, no, as a teacher, a classroom teacher, although I'm not an AP teacher, but this is highly related, no, with our lessons, no, that before, in the olden times or in the past, wala jud tagaig importance ang women until mauto siya katong CEDAW. It was strengthened and now we are given this empowerment, no, women empowerment, and not only women, no, but there is already what we call as gender equality.
Yeah. So that's very good. No, ano na to makita ang dynamism sa human history, di ba? Mo evolve kita, and we have to be adaptive to the changes that would come, di ba? So talking about legality, attorney, akin nasud ta sa atong kaugalingong nataran. Oh, what are the basis man ka sa ato ang DepEd pod pag-adapt na to ani?
Oh, actually, in DepEd, sir, the reason nga si DepEd is kinahanglan siya mo implement. So, it's not just because ganahan ta mo implement, but actually, the law requires any government agency to implement good gender and development. So, it's provided under the Magna Carta of Women that any government agency good should allot a portion of their budget, at least 5% of their budget, for gender and development nga activities. So, specifically required gid na niya. Every year, kung naatay, gitawag na to nga annual national budget, na yun na specifically sa giswat dito nga. Tanan, i-remind gina tanan agency nga, oy, ang inyong budgetan, 5% ana, you have to use for God programs, projects, and activities. So, muna, si DepEd, kita, ga-implement sa daan na. Oh, and then, so actually kung sa DepEd in general ang atong natay mga DepEd orders nga pwede na to mabasihan sa ato ang mga guidelines. So natay DepEd order kung ako na sayo around 2012-73 man siguro to, sir. Let me check for a while ha. Ang ato ang DepEd order number 63. DepEd order number 63 series of 2012. So 2012 pa na siya. Muna siya ang ato ang DepEd order nga nag-provide sa guidelines unsaon na to paggamit sa kanang 5%. And then pag 2017 nagpagawa sad si DepEd og iyahang DepEd order regarding gender responsive basic education policy. So pwede sa na to nga basihan unsaon na to pag-implement sa GAD within DepEd. And then, specific to DepEd Mandaway, yes, kita diri gyud sa atong schools division. Nag-create gyud ta recently, sir, og ato ang division memorandum 372. So, we issued this year lang to provide guidelines to the schools. Unsaon sad nila paggamit. Pero kat na siya nga division memorandum, gibase ra sa nato sa mga legal laws, regulations of DepEd pertaining to gender and development.
So, lakdot pagkasulti base sa katong pag-umbrella nga kuan, nagi kaakuhan tanang agency, and since we are part nasa tay ato.
Yes.
Nindot pa kay nag-create kitag atong homegrown ato nga mga rules based on the kuan.
Yes.
So that would lead to our next question nga atong address ni Ma'am. Ma'am,
yes, sir.
yun sa na to pag-implement sa atong mga schools, ma'am. Sa inyo ha. Imong experience.
Of course, no, when we implement our mga GAD activities, we make sure, no, and I'm glad that Attorney Oro had already handed out to us the guidelines, no? Itong giingon ni Attorney Oro nga Division Memorandum 372 series of 2024, and number 1 is aron klaro and transparent because it involves money. We have to follow what is in the guidelines. So in the guidelines, naa dito naka-stipulate that there must be a focal point system, which is composed of the head, which is the school principal, and then you have members, you have the master teacher, learning coordinators, and the secretariat, as well as the finance officers. So when I implement activities, I make sure that the first thing that I need to do is to craft an activity design, which will be signed by those that I mentioned na parts of focal person. In our case, ang among focal person mostly are in the GAD. I mean, ang mga members are in the back, rather. In the back, nasa among GAD. Back na mong system. And then, after which, according to Attorney Oro, if these activities are done outside of the school, so we have to seek for the permission of the SDS. If not, the signature of the school principal will suffice. Once I am clear with this, then I implement these activities in school. I make sure that there are no classes that are disrupted. So when we have celebrations like Women's Month that needs opening no, and closing, we make sure we just do it during our flag ceremony, a short opening program, and then the rest of the activities are conducted with our partnership with our Araling Panlipunan teacher. So timely man sad with the curriculum, no? I don't know, pero na-align dyan ang curriculum nga ang anti-violence against women and children na-adjud sa March nga curriculum. So that's why last year when I conducted the activity, the students were the ones who crafted or sila mo nag-man sa program because it was made possible by the AP teachers. They made it as their performance task. So in that way, walay classes nga na-disrupt and at the same time, there's also learning.
Actually, no, mauna tayo ako yung pangutan na sunod. Labi na nato, di ba? We are mandated
Tabian
nga.
ko, sir.
Kanang, wala gibite kanang no classes must be
Yes, sir.
disrupted, no, with our activities. So, ang inyo is during flag ceremonies, no? And then in the afternoon where no classes will be affected.
And Saturdays, if
And then,
possible.
kuan ma'am, additional question lang kanang can you give us specific examples sa itong mga activities?
Okay. So usually, because we are the largest secondary school, we cannot cater everyone. When we have seminars or trainings for students, we always dwell with we tap our student leaders. Our student leaders are the usual attendees. No, aside from those nga concerned good, for example, kanang we cannot ask the students no kids ay victims of violence or nana. So what we do is we tap the student leaders, class president to attend the forum or the seminar. Then we let them cascade no or do an echo seminar during our homeroom classes. So we allocate homeroom time in school. So ako as the GAD coordinator will provide the PowerPoint presentation and then I let the advisor facilitate and then mo cascade ang among mga naka-attend sa seminar. We also have kung sa wellness, ingon ana, we coordinate with the MAPE teachers and we also have poster making contest. We usually still coordinate with the MAPE. So in compre nga dako kami nga eskwelahan, the best way to reach through every student is through our coordinators, then via advisors in ANA. Because we cannot really dwell with like 5,000 students. So at least, in our little ways, address gid namo ang needs sa mga students.
If I may add lang sa sir no, so actually prior to this, I came in as the GAD focal person 2020 yes. Oh, padulong COVID to siya sir. So actually kato nga time ako na nga papasag ko unsaon pagpadagan sa GAD, but I told them the importance of certain mga celebrations in relation to God, like for example Women's Month and the Children's Month and the Vowsy Week. So kantulo wag na absent, dapat the school will have activities, programs and projects nga ilag yung buhaton for that kanang period. So when we talk about Women's Month every March, Children's Month every November, and then the Vowsy Week mga November to December. Oh, ano siya?
18 days campaign.
Oh, 18 days campaign. So muna nga I understand nga this period ting klase, so our students may have classes nga ma-affected. So with the new instructions nga giingon ni ma'am nga masulod siya sa ilang curriculum, it's better because even if dili gyud sila mo create og mga dagko nga programa, even in the classroom, they can still implement programs nga mapadala gihapon nato ang information dito sa atong mga estudyante and even our teachers, this kanang things or advocacies relating to gender and development.
Yes.
So mura sir ko integration, no?
Yes.
Ato
Yes, sir.
So nindot sad kayo manang ako kopyahon niya tanang kong inyo. Actually November is our values month, no? So
So actually sir, kanang okay sana siya nga na integration between subjects kay gender and development cuts across. Oh, so
Yes, attorney.
oh,
Urag vast na kayong iyang umbrella, ni-touch na siya sa DRRM, ARH of the medical school
CSE.
unit. Oh, dako na gid kayo siya scope. So, if naatay mga programs in the division nga would require, for example, sa atong school medical unit, we just bang maging partner lang ta nila to conduct the activities.
So naalang ko ikuan ba nalay ni strike sa akong mind ba nga pambitaw. I don't know if this is also a valid concern, especially sa mga lalaki ba. Kaya it seems na good mura ba tingali na ay misnomer or notion ba nga mura ang focus sa kuan mga babae gid. What about our mga counterparts, mga males or mga lalaki?
Actually, sir, we do not discriminate in schools. So even if it's Women's Month, we involve the male students and teachers. Although katulang sa among campaign shirt, there were teachers mo ana to ng mga lalaki. Ulo lagi mi apili og campaign shirts. Inko, aloy ka nang I just specified mo gud in my activity design that it's only but the female, but appeal sila sa mga activities, even the students, and even with the seminars, we do not kanang discriminate nga kailangan babae rang attendee or whatsoever. So we make sure that kanang at least also no makita gid ang sides for both men and women.
true. And I just also would like to share nga kanang although the constant advocacy mostly dili constant but most of the advocacies of kanang God is women, but it is rooted on the idea as previously shared nga patriarchal ta, so murag it's viewed nga most of the men are already having nana sila ilang rights. We're just trying to kanang make it equal for women and men. But even sa atong mga programs, sir, we also encourage men to participate sa kanang mga women's programs kay in my belief, personal belief, if ang atong mga lalaki dili mo tuo sa rights sa women, then the discrimination, the violence will continue. So dapat not just the women ang mo fight for the rights, but even ang ato ang mga male counterparts mo tuo nga importante ang rights sa women and they also support that. And sa giingon na ni ma'am, actually most of our activities naagid na both ang atong mga boys and girls and male and female employees. So everyone is kanang invited to take part in our God programs.
So thank you for at least clearing out the cobwebs no for our kuan. Ya mo segue ko gamay. Ninda interesting man gud siya nga topic no.
Sige, sir.
Kanang so I would like to assume nga maybe in behalf of the men no listening nga di mi dapat ma-insecure.
Yes, that's true. Dili good, sir. Dili good.
Now, the other thing is, how are we with the advocacies now, especially on the social level? How will our gender advocacies interplay with the advocacies of the LGBT community?
So actually karon sir, we also incorporate mga kanang ideals, actually not ideals but mga advocacies sa ato ang LGBTQ. Although there is still kay ba man tatanan wala pag yung law from the kanang Senate or from the main government with regards to LGBTQ+, but here in Mandaway we already have ato ang mga kanang ordinances relating to that. So kay gender equality siya, so our views is both for everyone.
Okay no. So at least ba kay kanang usay lagi kanang kung dili gud siya ma-express niya, di sad kay siya nato matarong explain. One faction may feel kuan ba nabiyaan o naon sabi taw. So it's good nga nag-talk, and it's also very good, very interesting that we have an expert here, no? Attorney. So yes, it's a privilege really to have you here, attorney. And then can you give us at least a few significant programs about God that we have implemented in DepEd Mandawi as a whole, not just in the schools?
So, ang sa DepEd Mandawi Schools Division, sir, I think what's the first significant accomplishment nato is ato ang kanang unsa man na siya gi-devolve to the schools ang implementation sa GAD. Okay, as what I've shared a while ago, I'm not sure if I was able to share, but ang previously manggod, it's a division created nga mga activities. So kita mostly ang mag-create, so, gamay ra ang ma-involve. Unlike nga diretso siya sa schools, the schools can generate their own plans and then they can tap kanang include in their programs and advocacies ang mga students, ang mga teachers. So sila mismo makakuha sila, mauday ning God, mauday ni ang Women's Month. Okay, so ingana siya. And then second, for the division office, I think what's very significant is like during our celebration of the Women's Month, there are always new information that we're sharing to our employees, no? So like a previous year, we conducted a seminar on kanang gender mainstreaming. So ato nang gi-share to all of our division office nga personnel. And then the following year, na nasad tay topic in terms of violence against women. And then the next year nga nag-implement ta is naanasad tay katong Safe Spaces Act nga seminar. And even dili related to laws, we also implemented a self-defense training class for women. So anything that we think nga kanang importante nga knowledge nga atong nga needed i-share for women and for men, ato ana siyang gibuhat every Women's Month. And this year we started doing our beauty care day. So in collaboration with some of our volunteers, nagyo isa ka adlaw nga ipamper na to ang mga kauban diri sa division office. But it's not only for women although it's during the Women's Month, even the males. Yes, even the males. So natay mga haircuts, mga massage. So na mga ingana nga mga activities within the division office that we're implementing on a yearly basis, and that's because ato ang gina-commemorate every March ang ato ang Women's Month nga program. So kana siya.
Yes, in the school level, we also do that, sir. Nami mga programs, but since we are very particular with the no disruption of classes, we make sure that we conduct our capacity building training for teachers. Usually it's the Saturday before our Christmas break, or that Saturday after the Christmas break. So it's always on a Saturday. So maura gina siya nga time that we will be into intense workshop, and I'm very grateful that last fiscal year Attorney Marinel had already increased the budget, no? Thank you, Attorney, for increasing the budget for the teachers. Yes, it's true.
Okay, sa una, sir, ang ilahang budget, we were limited to, I think, 300 pesos.
So 200 ang meal, like lunch, and then 50 a.m. snacks, p.m. snacks, 50. So, pero we were able to manage, actually, no? Pero this time, since mas gipadako man ang budget, and most of the time, ihatag man gyud namo sa mga bata, no? So we only allocated one training for the teachers, and that's the big time good nga training for the teachers. We make sure we utilize the 8 hours, no? Even Attorney mentioned there that you can have like series of trainings, pero with the allocation murag dili naman maigo, no? Murag wa nay mabilin para sa mga bata. So as the GAD coordinator for many years, mora gina ako one training for the teachers, the rest for the students. Because we also have gender and development also, murag lisod siya sa inset. I remembered na apud tay child and protection policy, ipadiscuss siya sa atong inset. So I think kana nga mga training is more than enough na, no, for the teachers. This year we're looking forward kay naging partner mi sa among DRR for our standard standard first aid and basic life support for the teachers, since mao man gid among problema karon sa compare with the volume of students going into our clinic. So dili na maatol sa among ni Sir Kaba nga siya ra gid usa. So the training is for the teachers to be kanabang educated, dili lang educated but to learn the skills, no, of standard basic life support. So uso di sa compre hyperventilation, hyperacidity, and cough and colds. So I hope it will be a successful one. So it's this coming December.
So looking forward to that, no?
Yes, sir.
Sige, so thank you kay Stana, no? We've had a good time, no, talking about gender and development much, and then also let's have a short break, and then when we come back, we'll talk more, no, about the challenges, no, and what should be, what to look forward to in regard to gender and development. Okay, so stick around. We'll be back in a moment.
Playtime with Sir Elmer.
Alright, so do not take gamayng game. We call this scrambled letters. It's for our guest, no? It's
Dagan na ba kayo
Oo,
istoryahan?
lagi.
Competitive ba yan kayo, sir? Hindi ko papildi.
Di kita pilde, no? Alright, so simple instruction. Arrange the following letters to form a word related to gender and development or God. Okay, we have the first. D-N-E-R-E-G. Ta-da-da!
Sige. Gender.
Gender. Alright? Okay. Next, number 2, we have S-E-S-N-E-R-W-A-A.
Hala, liso naman.
A little longer. Ta-da-dang.
Clue, please.
Minsan na.
It's
Awareness.
Yeah.
Awareness.
like getting familiar, ah.
Oh,
Third, we have L-S-U-T-X-A-E-Y-I. Which word does contain an X?
Ano na X? Nga word.
Ay, sexuality.
Wow.
Yeah,
Sexuality.
No, bright
There,
yun yung
ma'am. Bright yes,
taga-compreg
ma'am.
yun.
Provisions. Provisions. Dili, no.
P-E-R-O-V-I-E-N-S-N-S. Saka ni siya.
Any clue? Unsa ni siya? Starts with letter R. Re. Sama na.
I think it's a reaction. No? Noun form.
Reaction. Hala. Ito yung answer.
Hello, uy.
You day siguro.
R.
R-E.
R-E.
R-E. Re.
Rest.
Ay. O sige ma'am. Rest.
Next, please.
Pass. Rest.
I think no?
Rest.
A clue. It starts with rest and it ends with an E.
Responsive.
Responsive. Ay, correct.
Ay, beginning attorney.
Nice. Okay.
Kani,
Nagkalisod
Macho.
lagi.
Lagi
College,
nagkataas
yes.
mo ni ma'am.
Discrimination.
Wow.
Discrimination.
yes.
Women.
Ay,
Women. Yeah.
Women.
Kaya rin ako.
Okay, number
Sensitivity.
Tawag.
Wow.
Kayo ni ma'am ang mga multiple letters.
Development.
Wow.
Sus. Isang bagsak naman.
Equality.
Ay, yes.
Wow.
Violence.
Wow.
Murag, ang mga terms
Alright.
kay murag.
So, congratulations, no? Perfect man ang score.
Yay!
Like ko, no? Bisag bali-balihon pa. Kung ipuy-ani mo, nagi-ani mo, no? It will always be there. Murag, nakakuha na ba, no? Sa atong consciousness.
Yes.
Alright, so once again, thank you very much,
Thank
Attorney
you.
Oro.
Thank you,
Ma'am
sir.
Caril, thank you very much.
And we're back.
Okay, we're back once again. So I hope you stuck around and still join us, no, with the second part of our discussion here on gender and development. Still with our very esteemed guests. Okay, to continue, how has God impacted the lives of our students from your perspective?
At the school level, I would say, sir, that through the GAD activities, we have established an environment where respect and equality is valued. So, as teachers, we only want an environment that is conducive, no, for our students. And there's no other way to do that than to implement activities that will promote equality. So, as what attorney said ganina, no, that even if it's Women's Month, we always involve our students, our male students, and with the activities, and we also make sure that the facilities are available. In Mandaway City Comprehensive National High School, I've got a very strong partnership with our mental health coordinator, Mrs. Maneha. So nowadays there are many issues, no, of mental health breakdown, and which I think one of the most important issues that we need to pay attention. So it's not only about equality, respect, but we also dwell on the wellness of our students, mentally, emotionally, all aspects of their life. So I think our role here in the gender and development is to provide the avenue for the students to be recognized and to establish a respect, mutual respect with each other, towards their classmates, to the teachers and school heads.
Okay, thank you very much, no? Shout out there to Miss Maneha. No? I think she's a psychology graduate, right? And she's very well suited into the mental health plan. Okay. So, attorney, sa imong sumpay, attorney?
Yes, kanang although sa division na office nga level, sir, we're mostly catering to our employees. Ang atong mga programs mostly cater to the employees, but in support of the discussion of Ma'am Jet, I think the information dissemination that we're creating yun is really the kanang start siya, sir, ba, of understanding on the perspective sa atong mga bata, makasabot sila sa importance of gender and development, gender equality, o kaning unsa pa ni nga mga principles nga atong gi-imbibe sa GAD. And at the same time, makahibaw sila unsay rights nila. So I think I've shared about safe spaces, no? So si safe spaces dili ra na siya limited to women. So it also is applicable, it's a right that is also applicable to men. So, by sharing this information sa atong mga students, kay baw sila unsay pwede nila buhaton, unsay dili nila pwede buhaton, unsay kanang remedies nga pwede nila i-go through kung for example, maka-undergo sila violations of the Safe Spaces Act. In the same way sa anti-violence against women. So, ang atong mga teachers, estudyante, o ang ato ang mga kaning co-employees nga maka-experience og vow, then they can be the kanang they will know, okay, padung ko dinhi anhi ko pwede mangayo og assistance, mo ni ang akong rights under the law, mo ni akong pwede buhaton. So kana lang, even the small awareness campaigns that we're doing through the GAD, gamit na siya para nako, murag gamit na siya sa mga estudyante nga kaybaw sila unsay right nila, unsay dili nila dapat buhaton, and at the same time unsay ilahang pwede mabuhat if maka-experience sila anak mga violations.
So nindot kayo, sakto gid to, attorney, no? So it's more about awareness, no? Awareness campaign, knowing what rights they have, how to be responsible with these rights, and how to use these rights, this awareness to make them better persons siguro.
Correct.
Correct, sir.
Sakto gyud.
So
Unsa
nindot
ni tawag
kayo.
na to ana, sir, 21st century
Sa man-
citizens, murag one of the goals of DepEd to create learners who are 21st century ready.
mo ana. Actually, I think aligned pud ni siya sa kanang 21 United Nations developmental goals. Wala usa ni siya development. Okay? So having said all those things, no, daghan ni kita nisigutan from the history, no, the legal basis, application of DepEd, how we run this in DepEd, no? And we've talked about mungutanan na sa tag unsa man kay mga challenges na to nga na encounter so far, and unsay atong mga moves, no, to face these challenges.
So actually for the division nga portion, sir, we are still on the process. So as what I've said, since 2020, we are still on the process of growing the murag atong ipa-imbibe gyud sa school ang idea of gender and development. Gitawag na nato siya gender mainstreaming, no? So kanang napata sa portion nga learnings pata. So hopefully eventually maabot sa setup nga kanang natural na lang yun nato sa atong mga eskwelahan ang atong mga gender and development programs nya mo develop na ta og policies that will support gender and development. Kay karon mostly sa mga activities gyud sa school is napa sila sa mga awareness campaigns, mga celebration of the significant events. So hopefully eventually sila nasad sila policy nga ma-create sa ilang school nga gender responsive in terms of unsaon pag-teach ana sa classroom. So kato nindo to ilahang nabuhat na nga murag gisulod nila silang AP ang gender and development, but hopefully even other subjects pwede na nila masulod ang gender and development. And at the same time sad sir, the use of the budget, because we are still on the start of kanang murabag nagmonitor pata. So pag since 2020 kani atong mga teachers kay naam gyud na sila kanang buhaton nga budget October 15th of the prior year. So let's say for 2025 kani sila ron nani sila gibuhat nga ilang gender plan, God plan. So nagsubmit na sila, and then by next year ato na nang i-check kung ilahabag yun nang na-accomplish ilang mga God plan, and ilahabag yung nagamit ang ilahang 5%, at least 5% for this God nila nga mga advocacies and programs. Kay wala may gamit ang ato ang sigig plano kung eventually di ra gihapon nato i-implement. So that's what where we're going through. Kay kanang ganahan ta nga kanang sa ako nang natural na sa school nga nakoy God plan nya common na sa mga bata, makasabot na sila unsa ng gender and development and the advocacies of gender and development.
Okay, very nice, ma'am. Say anything?
In school, usually in our school, the largest secondary school, the most challenging part siguro sir no is to kanabang the fact nga kanang dili tanan mo i-cater, no, with the many activities, it is not possible to cater everyone, 5,000 students. So part of the challenge is ang ato na lang mabuhat is really to tap the teachers, subject teachers, and other coordinators nga nasud sa umbrella sa God. You have MAPE because there is also health in MAPE, araling panlipunan, science, na diha apod ang comprehensive sexuality education. So until diha aram, and also with we are limited to the implementation also of the activities. So attorney was right ganina nga murag diha ra kita taman sa awareness campaign. So hopefully no in the incoming years nga ang bata kung mosulod sa eskwelahan dili na kailangan mangutana unsa day ng God. So murabag ma-feel na nila when they enter with the facilities of the school, makita na nila ang unsa gini ang God and what are the services that they can avail no with the facilities nga gipagawas nato sa atong kuan. And attorney was also right that the proper use of the budget, no, it's really for the students, no, and also for our teachers. So sayang siya kung dili nato gamiton ang budget, especially since last year until this year where attorney has already specified the mandates. It's easier for us, no, God coordinators to come up with activities that are I'm sure ang division is creating or specifying mandates that are beneficial to the students. So at least nanaro ang among pagtan-aw kung asa dapit ani gyud ang among ipang kuan sa mga bata. So I think that's all, sir.
Okay, so klaro na gyud no, at least more or less, although ato ingnon nga napata sa from the inception stage to tunga siguro no, to at least much has been done in terms of awareness, diba?
Yes.
So that's one good thing atong nahimo sa God, no. And then talking about katong ways forward, so imo nang giingon gani attorney no nga kanang kuan lang no, working our way out into this. And then also being responsible with what we have, di ba? Yung budget.
Yes.
And of course, kanang planning.
That's true. I think since the inception of gender and development, naanag yun na ang planning and the implementation nga portion. So by sa atong kanang consistent nga paggamit ani nga setup, eventually ato yung ma-develop ang atong gender and development diri sa Schools Division of Mandaway City kay so sa tinudanay lang na pagyuta sa sinugdanan sir no, so kanang we're hoping to reach a level nga kanang kuan gid siya. Everyone understands what gender and development is, and we already implemented that in terms of the mainstreaming of gender, especially sa atong education kay diri man sila makahibaw sa sa DepEd, diri man sila makahibaw kay we are the institution nga task of really sharing this information to everyone.
In addition to what attorney said, sir, it's not all about planning, rasad, no, and budgeting, but attorney Oro also collects our accomplishment reports every 15th of December, if I'm not mistaken. So she collects them and notes down if these activities were implemented or not. So I think it helps kay with the next fiscal year makita man nato unsay kada bang dili balik-balik atong activities. We design more activities for the students that are also varied nga.
True.
Diba, attorney?
Ang nakanindot sad sir, if actually last year nakakita na ko sa ilang mga programs no, makakita kag very innovative nga mga kanang projects and advocacies nila relating to God, which makaingon sad ko nga pwede nila ma-share to the other schools that can also implement this kanang advocacies nila. So that's the good thing if nakay implementation kanang submission or requirement at the end kay makahibaw kag unsa na gibuhat nila, makakita kag unsay mga nindot nga mga kanang projects and plans and advocacies nila. At least in the following year pwede to nimo ma-share to the rest of the school. Oh, nindot si Kompre mo ni gibuhat ni Kompre, pwede ninyo sundon din sa inyo ha. So at least dali na lang ang pag-disseminate sa information from this school, ni katag dito sa school until everyone in the division is already kanang implementing this good and best practices nato.
Yes, no, benchmarking.
Yes.
No?
Yes.
In fact, sir, some of our activities also gikuha po na mo sa mga activities ni Attorney Oro. So I think they're really the good model. Model gid sila para sa mga school. So unsay ilang mga activities for the division, pwede sad na namo magamit sa amo. Okay. I think we are under one umbrella no sa gender and development. So nasa ko'y mga activities nga gisundog nako sa mga activities ni Attorney Oro, like the self-defense, and I'm done also with the katong beauty care nami inadto in the past. So I think if siguro kanang we will just be more creative and innovative sa atong activities. It's not only kanabang the tag nga, it's gender and development. Students will be more aware of their rights, no, nga mao day ni ang among pwede, no, and then you have to be very visible also with your mga services in school. So mo nang pwede gid ka making partner sa clinic, sa mental health, because these are all included in our gender and development.
Okay, folks, you've heard much enough, no? So daghang kay nesgutan. I hope di niyo to kalimtan ang mga sharing, no? So share, no? Share what you have. Attorney shares what she has, no, to the teachers and also sila pod. So give and take. Yeah, we grow together.
Yes.
We move together, no?
Correct.
As a department. Okay? So daghang kay tag na discuss karon. Yeah, I think wala na tay time. So looking forward, no, to the next episode. So magkita-kita ta balik dinhi atong programa nga puno sa kasayuran. No, puno sa pagkat-on. Kini ang Mandaway. Kaysa Mandaway, daghang pamaagi. Once again, thank you very much to Ma'am Caril and also to our very own attorney Marinel Oro,
Thank you,
for
sir.
shedding
Thank you for
light,
having
no,
me.
on the very important issues, especially sa mga bata, sa mga teachers, o sa mga parents, no, and as a whole, as a community. So, by God's grace, kining tanan mahimutang ra gyud. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Saan mo na kahit kailan di kita iiwan kahit kailan di kita pababayaan kahit kailan kahit kailan